So who is responsible when a vehicle malfunction results in an injury? Well, when a vehicle malfunctions and causes an injury to somebody, determining liability is not always simple and straightforward. There's a number of parties that could potentially be responsible for the injury. It all starts with a dealer, the manufacturer that makes the vehicles. Possibly it could have to do with the mechanic or a repair shop that worked on the vehicle, and it could also have something to do with the vehicle owner. So we'll break this down here real quick. So let's talk about the vehicle manufacturer. If the malfunction stems for something that's a defect in the design or the manufacturing process, then the manufacturer could be liable. Some common issues are steering problems or airbag problems or maybe braking failures. And these generally point to the manufacturer if the car is in the condition it was when it left the factory. Obviously, if you take a factory car and you tear it all apart and put different things on it, and one of the things somebody did fails, it's not necessarily going to be the manufacturer's fault anymore. Now, the other party that could be responsible is a dealer. And if the dealer sells you a vehicle they knew or should have known was defective, then the dealer may have some responsibility for it. Now, let's also talk about what happens when you buy a car from a private party. This happens a lot. And generally, depending on where you live, when you buy a car from a private party, there is no warranty. A private party doesn't have a duty to inspect the vehicle and make it safe and all those things. They should disclose to you known problems, but it's going to be really tough to bring a claim against a private seller because number one, they probably don't have any errors and omissions kind of insurance. And number two, they may not even know what the heck was wrong with the vehicle when they sold it to you. So next would be the mechanic or repair shop. If they caused something, if their repair work wasn't done right, or they put on faulty parts that resulted in an injury to somebody else, potentially they could be on the hook. And a very good example is you go get new tires put on your car, you're driving down the road, and all of a sudden one of your wheels flies off, causes your car to spin off and hits a motorcyclist. Well, who's responsible for it? Probably the first place you would look would be the shop where you got your tires done because they didn't tighten the tires to the car properly, and their faulty work is what resulted in the injuries. So what about the vehicle owner? The vehicle owner didn't build the car, they didn't repair the car, they just drive the car. Well, are they going to have any responsibility? Well, possibly. Now, a vehicle owner has got a duty to keep the car maintained and to make reasonable repairs or necessary repairs. So if a owner of a vehicle knows they need brakes, but they tell the shop, hey, I'm not going to get brakes put on, and then boom, they rear end somebody because the car couldn't stop because they had faulty brakes, well, it's probably not the manufacturer's problem if the brakes were all worn out and the owner decided not to go and make the necessary repairs. So there is an opportunity to look to the owner of the vehicle as well. Now, if you're in Nevada and you've been injured by a vehicle malfunction, you've got questions, please feel free to give me a call or drop me an email.